found the right grammatical connection point, but and doesn't feel right because they're not independent. You know, we see time and time again that when we have not just from a well-being, you know, I think a traditional well-being view of individuals and the workplace, but you know, when we have greater holistic well-being, it's not always going to be perfect or not always going to be right for everybody at a particular period of time, but when we focus in and around well-being, positive outcomes for individuals, there comes the performance. The performance doesn't come from you know, getting more done in a day or squeezing more into your diary or being able to tick a big list off. Actually, it's more about your well-being, and when we're harnessing more of that, that's actually the amplifying of how we get performance, better performance from people. Not necessarily more work, but better performance out of people, and people have better performance in the workplace and at home. And it's quite interesting. I know our topic in and around this conversation is around pay, but you know, those conversations around well-being from a pay perspective, well-being from a quality of life through pay perspective, well-being from a reward and recognition through pay perspective. You know, all of these elements come in and around. They are connected still to our well-being, and that in turn is connected to our performance. The tricky part is that you know, it's on a fine line here where more money doesn't necessarily mean better performance or mean you know, you're actually being rewarded or recognised for the work that you're doing, or that you're going to feel good about coming to work. So I think there's some real deeper conversations, and I know we'll probably talk about this soon, around transparency and those challenges with leadership conversations around pay and pay equity, and that I think really come into play when we talk about wellbeing, but also not, you know, wholeheartedly about the only outcome in terms of people's performance.